I had only lived in the house for 3 days. When my phone rang, unknown number, I answered, and a calm voice said, "Hey, I forgot to disconnect one of the cameras in your house." Then he laughed. I wasn't supposed to move. At least, that's what my sister kept saying. "People don't just leave houses like that for cheap," she warned. But I didn't listen. Because after everything that had happened, the breakup, losing my job, I needed something that felt like a reset. And when I saw the listing, it felt like fate. A beautiful 2-story suburban house, way too low, but I convinced myself it was a lucky break. The seller, Daniel Harper, was eager, too eager. "You can move in immediately," he told me. That should have been the first red flag, but I ignored it. Because when I walked into that house for the first time, it felt perfect, clean, quiet, almost untouched. The first 2 days were normal. Unpacking boxes, cleaning, but something felt off, like the thermostat changing by itself, then the lights. Once, I walked into the kitchen late at night and the light flicked on before I even touched the switch. I froze, then laughed it off. "Old wiring," I whispered, still. I started double-checking things, locks, windows, doors. It was the third night. I had just gotten out of the shower. My phone buzzed on the counter, unknown number. "Hello?" A pause. Then a man's voice, calm, casual. "Hey." I was wondering when you'd finally pick up. "Daniel." "Yeah," he said. "I forgot to disconnect one of the cameras." My entire body went cold. "You're in the kitchen right now, aren't you? You really should towel your hair better. You're dripping water all over the floor." My hand started shaking. "Where is it?" I whispered. "I can't just tell you that. That would ruin the fun." I didn't sleep that night. Every tiny sound made my heart race. The house creaked. And all I could think was, he's watching me. The next morning, I started searching every room. Every corner, behind paintings, inside vents. Under furniture, nothing. By day 4, I started noticing more things. I'd leave a cabinet open and come back to it closed. And then there were the texts. "You look tired today. Didn't sleep well? You should lock your back door." That last one made my blood run cold. I ran downstairs, checked. It was slightly open, not wide, just enough. I called the police. They came, looked around. "No visible devices," one officer said. "Could be a prank." That night, I decided to stop reacting and start thinking if Daniel really had access to a camera, he was studying me. I turned off every light, sat in the living room, and waited. Hours passed, then I saw it, a tiny flicker. There it was. A tiny black lens, hidden perfectly inside the smoke detector casing. My stomach dropped. I found it. I needed him to keep watching, because if he was watching, that meant I could control what he saw. I could trap him. I looked directly into the camera and whispered, "I know where you are now." Seconds later, my phone buzzed. "No, you don't." He was watching right now. "Not later, live," which meant this wasn't just some leftover camera setup. This was active. I took a slow breath and leaned closer. "You're not as smart as you think." I stepped back. "You left a trail." The next morning I started acting. I walked around the house with a notebook, pretending to take notes, muttering to myself. My phone buzzed. "What do you think you found?" There it was, fear, not mine, his. I checked everything. Wi-Fi, router, security panel. And that's when I saw it. Connected device. Gudge_remote access. I set up something else, a second network. One that looked exactly like the original, but this time, I was the one watching. I had my laptop open, watching for any connection attempts. Then a ping. Device connected to device_remote access. Got you. I'm not a hacker, but every time he tried to access the system, he left an IP address. A location, neighborhood, closer. I stood in front of the camera again. "I'm leaving tomorrow." I found everything I need. That was the bait. I didn't actually leave. I hid upstairs in the dark. With my phone recording, waiting, midnight passed. 2 a.m. Then a sound. The back door, footsteps inside my house. He was here. I moved quietly to the hallway, looked down. He walked through the living room, whispering, "Hello? I know you're not gone." I raised my phone, recording everything. I stepped out from the shadows. Actually, I already did. His body froze. He turned, eyes wide, shock, pure shock. You should have disconnected the camera, I said. Made it easier to track you. He looked around, panicking. You broke into my house. You installed hidden cameras. You've been stalking me. It's my house, he snapped. I smiled. Not anymore. And right on cue, sirens, loud, close, approaching fast. The front door burst open. Police rushed in. Don't move! Daniel froze. Hands up. Game over. Turns out, I wasn't the first. They found footage, dozens of recordings. Different people. Daniel had been doing this for years. A few weeks later, the house felt different. Lighter, safer, mine. Every camera. Gone. Every shadow. Empty. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't being watched. It's realizing the person watching you never expected you to fight back. And that's exactly why I won.